Coming up next, we have some cream puff recipes that are sure to please any palate, from desserts all the way down to a little sandwich. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Rhonda.
And I'm Laverne.
And today we got some cream puffs, we got some salads that we can use, some puddings, desserts. We got it all going on today.
You know, I think we missed the boat by not realizing all what we can do with cream puffs. And they are not hard to make.
No.
So let's go over to the stove here.
Okay.
And we're going to start. I put a cup of water in here.
Okay.
And we bring that to a boil. And then what I'm going to do is add my butter. And then when the butter is melted in there, then we're going to, you add a cup of flour and a little bit of salt. And that's all you do. And then, it takes a couple of, you add some eggs, you beat them in separately. Mm-hmm. And it's very, very simple, to make those. Okay, the water's boiling. Our stick of butter has already melted, and that equals a half a cup. And we just put in a little pinch of salt, and I'm going to add that right to my flour. And then we're going to just add that cup of flour into this, and we're just going to stir vigorously here until that all sticks together.
Okay.
And it goes fast.
Kind of makes a little batter all together.
Yes, just a paste, and we just want to stir it till that is blended. And I can already turn that burner off because it is already just all going together in a ball.
Okay.
And that's what we want.
All right.
So like I said, it is easy to make cream puffs, and I think it's something that, is really forgotten.
Well, and it's the same dough recipe whether you want to make, little appetizer sandwiches, like with a ham or a crab salad, or if you want to make a little dessert with whipped cream and a pudding or any type of
yes. That
fruit as well.
Does make it really good. We're going to just bring it over here.
Okay.
And we're going to just stir that a little bit here because we want to let it cool down, just cool off just a little bit before we add our eggs. It takes 4 eggs, and we're going to add 1 egg at a time. Put the egg in and just beat it up. And I want to get a little bowl here for us to crack our eggs in.
Okay.
And that, so we can do that. And let me just, just kind of keep stirring this a little bit so it cools off. And you certainly can make any size that you want. With your cream puffs, you can make them a little smaller just to make little appetizers. We're going to feature how to make a ham salad and a crab salad, and that is great in your cream puffs. And also some ideas about dessert.
Sure.
So,
sounds wonderful.
And I did preheat my oven to 400 degrees.
Okay.
Because that's what it asks for, is 400 degrees and about 20 minutes. So it's not very long at all.
Okay. And this is something, just speaking about things that you possibly could, if you're asked to prepare something for a get-together, if you're having a get-together, I think these would work great at any type of shower, a wedding shower, a baby shower.
Absolutely. And it's nice that, you can go ahead and you have your cream puffs baked and made ahead of time. And this way, the day of, then you can, fill it with your choice of, filling.
Sure.
So after each egg, we just want to beat it. Or just mix it up a little bit here with your spoon.
Sure.
And like I said, it doesn't take much, and so we can put that one in if you'd like.
Okay.
And that was 2.
Yeah.
So we'll a couple more. And it doesn't take very long when you're put that egg in to get it blended.
Now, is this a recipe that you've come across, or did we have this one submitted for us?
This is a recipe that I have used for cream puffs, for a long time. They're there isn't a lot of variation in cream puff recipe.
Okay.
It's pretty much, even if you go on to the computer, something like cooks.com, you're just not going to really find much of a variation.
Okay.
Ready for the third one?
And you said 4 eggs, correct?
That's correct. And it does just, when that egg is all beat up in there, your dough is going to have a real nice soft consistency that's easy to work with when you're putting in onto your cookie sheet.
Okay.
And let's just put that last egg in there. And yeah, we're going to want to make sure that we get this last one really beat up really good in here.
Now, is this something, you're doing this all by hand here. Is it something that you could have in your electric mixer just on a really slow speed doing that? Or would that be overkill?
It doesn't take much with the spoon. I would recommend just doing it with your spoon, mixing it up like that.
Okay.
I think that, you could over mix it with the mixer.
Would they get hard if you would overmix it? What would be the downfall of overmixing?
Your dough won't have quite the same consistency. If you beat it too much, it will get softer.
Okay.
And it, would be, when it gets a little bit softer, you might not get that puff, like,
airiness.
Right.
Okay.
So you can see just by beating this with a spoon, and it doesn't take very long. It's going to be a little bit, it's not real stiff, but it's, easy to work with.
Okay.
And like I said, you have your choice of, if you want bigger ones, and just a little bit makes quite a sizable cream puff. So in order to kind of make them kind of uniform, I'm going to use my little cookie scoop here.
Okay.
And just one of those, level full is all that you're going to want.
Okay.
Because it's just amazing how that they will just puff up and you'll have a nice size there.
And how much does this recipe make?
Again, it's going to depend upon the size, the size of your cream puff or how much you're putting on. They say about 18, more larger ones to about 24, smaller ones.
Okay.
Okay, I've filled my cookie sheet here, and we have already got 15 here, and I would say we're probably easily going to get another maybe 10 out of this.
Okay.
So we're going to just set this aside, and I'm going to put that in the oven, and it says 20 minutes. If you have bigger ones, you might want to, start with the 20 minutes, but double check them and see. You might want to add a couple of minutes with
Okay.
that. So
And what temperature did we put our oven at?
400 degrees.
Okay.
So that was already preheated. Now I'm going to feature a ham salad and a crab salad.
Okay.
So first of all, with the ham salad here, starting with, this is about 2 cups of chopped ham. I
Okay.
had just a ham that I had made the other day and had some left over, and I just put it in my food processor and just, let that chop really fine. So
Okay.
what we're going to do, we're going to start here with, it asks for a tablespoon of gray pecan mustard.
Okay.
And there's definitely differences in your mustards. So this versus, your yellow mustard. This has a lot better flavoring to that.
Okay. And a little sweet pickle relish.
Yep, and it asks for a 4th cup of sweet pickle relish. And there again, just any brand that you have in your refrigerator or you're going to go out and purchase. I did see a couple of the different brands out there, but they all pretty much seemed like, you know, the same ingredients for the sweet relish there.
Okay.
And then it asks for a couple of tablespoons of chopped green onion.
Okay.
And now we're going to add some Miracle Whip to this.
And is this a matter of preference, Miracle Whip? Mayonnaise would work just as well?
Yes, it would, whatever you have. And it says to start out with probably about a third, maybe a fourth to a third cup of your mayo or Miracle Whip.
Sure.
And this works good too on just regular bread for just a regular sandwich. If you wanted to make just this hand salad and use it on bread, or even, you know, like I say, if you're having, say, at football, just put this on a little bit of this on a Triscuit or a Ritz cracker.
Sure.
You know, just something a little bit different.
Sure. Well, and this is something, like you said, you could just have as a regular sandwich. If you didn't want to go through the effort of making the cream puffs, which really isn't that much effort at all, having a nice sandwich, especially coming up on holiday time when you might be making a little bit more bigger meals with ham and turkey
and it's always nice too. Normally you have some leftover ham, so that's always nice.
Sure.
So, you know, I had probably about a third cup of mayo there, and, you know, I think that's about the right consistency that I'd like to see for that. So we're going to set that aside, and look at how fast that is. So easy, you know, to put together. And then we're going, we're going to start with some crab salad. Or what I did, I had just taken some imitation crab.
Okay.
I had a pound, which I certainly didn't want to use a pound. And when I buy the crab, frozen crab, I like to buy it in the strips where it's got the little paper around it.
Oh.
So then it's easy to take off as many as you want, and you don't have to unthaw your whole package. So that worked really, really well. So I have, again, I would say about a cup and a half of crab salad here, or crab meat. So I'm going to add, I chopped some onion and some celery, and I've got about a fourth cup each, you know, of the celery and the onion. So we're going to put that in here.
Gets a little crunchiness to it.
Yes. That always gives a good flavor there. And then I'm going to add some shredded cheese.
Okay.
You know, and there too, I'm going to add probably around that half cup, or, you know, third to half cup. I'll just put a little bit in there. And you can use your cheddar cheese, you can use your Colby or Colby Jack, whatever you like.
Okay.
So I like cheese, and I really like cheese in that crab salad. So I probably got about, you know, a half cup. So, and I'm going to just add just a very little bit of pepper. You know, probably about a fourth teaspoon there.
Okay.
And just a little bit of salt. Again, maybe no more than a half there is what you want. And so now we're going to add our mayo.
Okay.
Or I
So
should say
again,
milk.
really easy to put together. A lot of ingredients you probably already have, you know, outside of maybe buying that crab meat.
Yes. And the thing was with the crab meat, you know, I always buy that frozen, and I always usually have a package in the freezer for, you know, salads or something different. And like I said, I really like the idea of using those that I can just take out as much as I want.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. I put here, probably started with about a half a cup of Miracle Whip.
Okay.
Because with the cheese and all that in there, that seems to absorb a little bit more. But that's looking pretty good. I think I'll just put a little bit of dab in there yet.
Little dab goes a long way.
Yep. Yeah, how's that phrase? Little dab will do ya?
I guess.
I think that was the Brill Cream commercial way back many years ago. I think before your time. Or before you're longer than you can remember.
I think so. I think I remember the phrase "a little dab will do you," but I didn't know what it was for.
Yeah, I think it was that commercial.
Oh, that looks great.
Okay, and you know, again, the crab meat in there and the celery and the onion and cheese, it makes it a very colorful salad. And again, this is so easy to put on crackers, or, you know, like we're going to do the cream puffs. But you know, I like the crab salad with crackers.
Yes, especially like a Triscuit, a little bit thicker cracker
yes.
would work great for a little appetizer.
I like that and stuff. So,
Okay.
So while the cream puffs are still baking, being we're going to feature them as a dessert also, I'm going to whip some cream.
Okay.
And I start with heavy whipping cream, and I want to use, you know, my, homemade whipping cream, because Cool Whip doesn't hold the consistency very well, or it doesn't keep us long.
Okay.
And if you whip your own cream and you put it in a cream puff, you can make them a little ahead of time, and they're going to stay very nice and firm. The cream doesn't separate, or, you know, just kind of melt down like Cool Whip does.
Okay.
So we'll get that whipped. And I just put a couple cups of cream in here, so we'll get that whipped. And
Okay.
well, we're waiting, and we'll cut a lot of time out of here. So.
Sounds great.
Okay, our oven timer's gone off for our cream puffs, so let's check them out.
Okay.
And they do. Oh, look at how nice they look.
They look perfect.
Great. So we're going to put this other pan in, and there's 11 of them on here. So when I said that we have about 24, 25, that's exactly what we have.
Okay.
So I'm going to set the timer again for 20 minutes. Okay, we have those out. Let's put this last pan in here.
Okay.
And we exactly got 25 cream puffs.
Wow.
And that's just out of one recipe, so that's pretty good.
And they puff up just beautifully, so.
And they bake nice. And now I do have kind of a non-stick pan here, but you don't need to grease your cookie sheet at all.
Okay.
And just put them out on the cooling rack just for a little bit here. And then we're just going to come over here, and I was talking about doing our whipped cream. And I whip my cream, you know, pretty stiff, you know. So we'll get that ready. And I always use powdered sugar in my whipped cream, because it doesn't separate and it doesn't get watery like it when you use regular sugar.
Very good tip.
So that's, and because I have about 2 cups of cream here, I'm going to put 2 good spoonfuls of powdered sugar,
Okay.
and that probably equaled about 3/4 cup of powdered sugar. And now I'm going to put some vanilla in. And again, I like to use the powdered vanilla, especially on whipped cream, and that, because that, again, you're not adding extra liquid in it to make it separate. And that, so that's about a teaspoon of vanilla.
Okay.
And let's just mix that up. And we're going to just feature some dessert cream puffs too. I made some chocolate pudding.
Okay.
And so, you know, just a little bit of a, chocolate pudding in, then with some whipped cream in there. And, you know, you can just do so many fun things. Let your own imagination,
Take its course.
Take its course, that's correct.
You have different favorites of pudding. I
Yeah.
mean, like you said, you can have it with fruit, without.
Yes, and you can do, with the chocolate, vanilla, butterscotch, any kind.
Sure.
Because that always goes good with whipped cream.
Sure.
So I'm going to go over and just get a couple of cream puffs here now. And just to feature there. And we'll just cut them open, and you can see just how, they make that little hole in that puff inside.
Yep.
So let me cut that, and you can add, let's do a little bit of the filling of the crab salad and ham salad here.
And when you make them just, make them just a nice size, people are more apt to try, the different kinds that you make instead of making them so big. Then they feel like, that seemed too much. I don't want to have another one.
Well, and the thing is, too, you make them a little smaller, and when you're doing varieties of fillings or kind of desserts, then it's kind of nice that, you may want to try more than one.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. All right.
and I think I've seen these like in the store where you actually, they even have them smaller than this, but so it's just whatever you like.
Okay.
Let's do some.
Get you to cut that one
Oh,
probably.
yes. Let's do some dessert ones. I have, and why don't we put the dessert ones on a separate plate so that we pretty much keep that separated there. And then you did
Well, and
that.
if I miss, I get to lick it off my fingers a
Oh.
little bit.
That's the best part. Now I'm going to put a little bit of whipped cream in there, and I've got some raspberries. And I'm going to just put a little dab of raspberries in there.
Yep, we got some blueberries here and some strawberries. You can even mix your berries too a little bit if you want to try something different there.
Yeah, get a couple more cream puffs here. That we could, and I think even just taking some whipped cream and drizzling some chocolate syrup over it.
Perfect.
Doesn't that sound good?
It does.
And what have we not tried? The strawberries?
I put just one on here with some blueberries, but go ahead. That
Okay.
sounds great.
Yeah, let's put a couple of strawberries on there.
Okay, these are.
And that, so I think we'll just kind of feature these here on the side, but just giving you different ideas what you can do with, your cream puffs. When we grew up with it, all we did was had the whipped cream in it, which
That's perfect too.
yeah, that was excellent.
Well, homemade
But-
whipped cream, there's
yeah.
nothing sweeter than that.
Yeah, and we always didn't have, the fruit and stuff like that, but the pudding is a nice touch
It is.
with that. so.
Definitely. And to get, again, the sky's the limit. Your mind, just let it take it where it leads.
That's right.
To get these recipes, go to Consolidated's website, www.ctctel.com, and submit your favorite recipe for us to show on Cooking Crave. We'd also like to thank the workshop as our sponsor. Thank you so much and have a great day.